Oh my God. Really?
Oh yeah, that's what I hear. Oh wait, I lost my thing. Hang on. Oh
That's
crap.
what she said.
Okay. Well, this thing has a mind of its own, and it just stops on its own sometimes.
You love it.
I love it. Hello, everyone. Everyone. All of the people watching right now.
There's
All
lots
of
of
them.
people. There's
All of
sharing happening.
all of the people watching. Welcome to the Geek Spot News
Yeah.
with Frank and Jack over there on the other
One day we'll get the Instagram sharing going. We're like this. We're like so close.
So close. We're
So
almost
close.
there. We're almost there.
Hey, Charles, thanks for joining.
Charles, and hi to everyone else. There's Dom.
Dom.
Oh, look at Dom throwing a Bad Boys Are Back, and he's not talking about Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I love it. I appreciate it. That is actually on my list to go see ASAP.
Is it?
Yes. I'm a huge, that's a guilty pleasure franchise like Fast and the Furious.
So wait, are you a Mike Lowry guy?
No, Martin Lawrence is so much better.
Got it. All right. So you're a Marcus guy.
Well, I was. Now Fat Marcus is back. So I don't know. Anyway.
I haven't seen one since I think Bad Boys 2. I did not see Bad Boys for Life still.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Vanessa Hudgens is in it.
Oh, well, she's fine. Yeah, she's also good in the other stuff that she's in, whatever that was.
Yes. No, I definitely want to go see it. It's crushing at the box office right now.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I have that. Okay. So you have in and out of the house stuff, right? That's what we start with.
It is. I did. Oh, that's smart, Dom. We'll make a callback to that comment as we get there. I did. I was out. I had some gigs. I played at the Waterwheel Tavern out in Doylestown. I filled in with the boys in the Zone with Ryan Vallata on guitar for the night.
How was
down
that?
It was great, man. Down in Avalon on Saturday. You know Ryan Vallata of the Mysterious Ways fame.
I know. That's kind of awesome.
We talk about on occasion the U2 tribute band that you should always go check out when they're local to you, or even when they're not local. Yeah, light week this week though. Just got Father's Day gig Sunday, which happy early Father's Day to you.
Same to you. You're a dad.
That's what they tell me. So Sunday is that. This past Sunday though, I managed to find time to watch something. Not our watch of the week, which I can't wait to talk about Carrie Ann Moss for so long. For all the time that she was in that show. She was amazing.
We'll get to that.
It was more than she was in the Matrix, it felt like. But I managed to watch Argyle finally.
Oh, the Henry Cavill one.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he's in it.
Well,
I would not call it the Henry Cavill vehicle per se.
No.
It is definitely a Bryce Dallas Howard movie.
Okay, I like her.
But it is at least 2 hours longer than it needed to be.
How long was it?
2 hours and 18 minutes.
Okay, there you go. There's Jack.
Maybe not 2 hours, but a solid hour and 45. But I don't know how familiar you were. See, Dom liked it. I remember when it came out, and I was sitting waiting to watch it, and I just couldn't dedicate the time. But let me see if this cast intrigues you. I don't know if you know the cast.
Okay.
So you got Henry Cavill, right? Pops up in it. John Cena. I think he's in the credits. I didn't see him on screen, but he's in the credits. Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Dua Lipa, Richard Grant pops up in it.
Richard E. Grant?
Richard E. Grant.
From oh hell. Hudson Hawk.
Wow. Yes. That's right where I was going to go from. Sure. Catherine O'Hara's in it.
Wow.
And a cat. And it was directed by Matthew Vaughn, who also directed Kingsman and plenty of other things.
Okay.
But look, it was good. Better than I expected it to be based on everything I had heard about it. But like the big twist that you were waiting for, they give you like halfway through the movie.
Oh,
So
that's
it's like, oh, well, all right. We got to be at the end. We got to be like over the. Nope, you're not even halfway in.
wow.
Like, well, shit. There's an hour and 20 minutes left in this thing now. But I would burn the time to watch it once, because it might tie into the Matthew Vaughn verse that he's trying to build with all the Kingsman movies and all that kind of stuff. I know you haven't gone down the Kingsman rabbit hole yet, but
I still have not.
they're just fun because they lean into being as crazy as they are. This is the opposite in so much as the Kingsman movies lean into the blood and gore and all that kind of stuff. This movie is Disney-fied, even though it's not Disney, but where you get none of that stuff.
Right.
And then we had a new Doctor Who,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. Rogue is this one, which really delves into the new Doctor kind of playing the field a little bit.
Did I have something about that?
You might. Jonathan Groff was in it.
Oh no, it was another show that you liked that I had something
from Hamilton.
Okay.
And plenty of other Broadway things and a ton of stuff. But he was great. It seems like he's being set up to replace our old buddy John Barrowman.
Okay.
From the Captain Jack realm. This new character, Rogue, seems to check a lot of the same boxes that John Barrowman did. And then, you get to see the Doctor interact differently in 2024 than the Doctor would have reacted in, 2008, 2010 to the same character and same flirtations and advancing. That's a little different now with Nshudi. But really good episode. It also had Indira, whose last name I can't remember, from Game of Thrones, and I think she was in some CW shows, and she's been in everything at some point.
Indira Gandhi?
Is that the name?
No, that's the former prime minister of India.
So no, it's not him or
it's
her.
Indira Varma.
Yeah, it sounds right.
It's definitely not.
Yeah, I think it's her.
It is her.
She was great.
Yeah.
The whole cast was fantastic in this one. They're like super fun. It was a Bridgerton style episode.
Okay.
So it was right in time for the release of the second half of this Bridgerton season. But she was in Mission Impossible. She was in Rome. That's the show I was thinking
of. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. She's been in everything. She's fantastic. They're all great. It was a super fun episode. But like Bridgerton cosplay, it's like these aliens came to the world to cosplay in the royal courts back in the day.
Okay.
And they take over individuals, and it's a fun romp, if you will. But that was most of what I watched this past week. How about you, man? What were you up to?
My in and out of the house was in the house. So I took off Thursday and Friday from work because the video game that I've been playing for the last 10 to 12 years religiously released its final part to their saga. They've been telling over the past 10 years, without getting all into it. It's called the Light and the Dark saga. It's been as everything does, a battle between lightness and darkness. And Nathan Fillion came back to voice the character that he had voiced for so long, and then they killed him off. And then what they did was, after they killed him off, they replaced some of his dialogue with Nolan North.
Got it.
Who replaced the original voice of the Ghost, who was Peter Dinklage. Yes. It was a wonderful, very emotional, up and down thing. If if you get that drawn into a story like that, it hits you in the feels. Characters that you've been playing. Keith David took over for Lance Reddick to voice a character, and it was very seamless. At times, he sounded a little bit like Lance Reddick delivering some of his lines, but it was definitely Keith David in the more like powerful, emotional scenes, where Lance Reddick has a very distinct cadence and voice.
Oh yeah,
you could definitely see that. But Keith David fit the character in a way that just it was still that same character, but he made it his own. It was really well done. The whole thing was really well done. And then they released what they're doing for the rest of this year. And then the 2025, they had like a coming soon, and they have a code name So nobody knows if they're going to make a third version of the game or if they're just going to continue on with this game and just kind of change stuff up. So Destiny, it was a wonderful finale. It's pretty much what I did all weekend.
So you played through it already?
Oh yeah, I'm done. Like there's more content, but this was just like the main story. So
Got it.
they did a bunch of missions, and then they have their raid. And then once the raid was beat, it took them 19 hours to beat the raid. This time, it was the longest raid. It's the longest time anyone has gone when they do these raids. They put them out usually once a year.
Yeah.
19 hours is the longest by far. And then once that's beaten, it automatically unlocks the final piece of the story.
Oh, for everybody, or just the people that beat the raid?
Everybody. For everybody.
Oh, that's interesting.
It enacts changes across the whole world as soon as the first team beats it. Like, it immediately opens up.
Oh, that sounds cool and awful all at the same time.
It is cool. I looked at the raid, and there's mechanics and stuff in it that I would have never gotten. Like, now that it was a contest mode, so you were under level by a lot for the contest mode, and they had, they banned certain guns and armor pieces that would give you an unfair advantage. Now that the contest mode is over, the raid is still difficult, but a lot easier and manageable.
Got it.
That's basically, and hockey, I think I messed up my MCL. So there's that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's fun.
Good. I keep telling you people to do physical things. This is why everybody gets hurt.
Yeah. Other than that, I did nothing. Nothing. I literally was in the house pretty much for 4 straight.
Well, that's why it's in and out of the house.
Yes, I did the in part this time.
One day we'll have a thing that flashes across the screen that says that.
I thought we did, and we just didn't use it this time.
That's just a banner, though. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, there's no banner set.
No, all of mine are deleted for some reason. I've had them, and now they're not here. So
yeah, because I didn't copy the session. I just started a new one.
Got it. Great.
I have to learn how to do that. Yeah, that was it for me. This weekend, probably same thing, nothing. It's Father's Day, so.
Yeah, it's good. You should bring the crew down to Barnaby's Aston. It's nowhere near where you live. It's great.
Yeah. Funny enough is that I play hockey down near there on Sunday mornings, and we actually moved our Sunday morning game to Wednesday this week so that all the dads could have off.
Even better.
Yeah. Now the list thing. My favorite part of the show.
Time for the list?
Yes, my favorite part of the show. We have two quick ones. We're going to do the 13 most lethal archers in movie and TV history.
I mean, there's only so many times you can say Robin Hood.
Right. So,
is it every different actor that's played Robin Hood?
No, it's definitely, this is definitely a weird list. Okay. So at 13 is Paris, the Orlando Bloom
from Troy.
Troy.
Okay, because he hit the shot, right? And he's the one that hit the ankle.
Yep.
That's why he's a good shot, because he hit the ankle.
13. At 12, Mulan.
Never seen it, but okay. Maybe I saw it. Nope. She had a dragon. I knew she had a dragon.
Yeah, the cartoon Mulan, right?
Sure. I don't know. It could be both.
Well, no, it's the yeah.
I would assume they're the same quality of archer, depending on either animated or not.
It's a weird list. Number 11, Abigail Whistler.
Oh, from Blade 3?
Yeah. She has a bow and arrow.
Did she?
Yeah. The picture that they're showing of her has her with a bow and arrow.
I mean, look, Jessica Biel can be the number 1 on any list, so I'm upset that she's number 11.
She also makes another list that we're going to do next week.
Oh.
For that exact character. Anyway, number 10 is a crossbow shooter, Daryl Dixon.
He's not really a great shot. Well, like speaking of that, teaser came out for Daryl Dixon season 2. I
actually grabbed it this time. At number 9, Ygritte from Game of Thrones. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Again, not the best archer.
No, this is, like I said, this is a weird list.
Like, if there was a barn that you needed to hit the broadside of, I feel like some of these people would be well equipped.
At number 8, Merida,
from Brave. No, I'll give that. She should be higher up in the list.
Okay,
maybe
that's at 8. At 7, this is probably my favorite one, John Rambo, Great archer.
That's fair.
Great archer.
I mean, as long as it's an explosive arrow, he's like all over it.
Yes. And you got to get the slow motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He's number
good.
7.
I mean, the number of times I saw Rainbow 2, like
so many. Not as many times as I've seen Rocky 3.
It's fair. Is that
number
is
6?
that Mr. T?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Number 6, Toriel.
Who?
From The Hobbit. Evangeline Lilly's elf.
Oh no, never saw it.
Neither did I. But she's number 6.
It's a book that's a fantastic book. I love the book, love the animated movie.
Yep.
Can't watch 3 movies to tell that story.
No,
I just can't bring myself to do it.
Coming in at number 5, here we are at the top 5, Katniss Everdeen.
Okay. I think that's fair. She's pretty famous. Should be Malcolm Merlin, but it's fine.
Number 4, Robin Hood.
Which one?
Well, the picture they have here is Kevin Costner.
I think Taron Egerton was probably a better Robin Hood as of late.
I think Carrie Elwes was a better Robin Hood, but that's
wasn't your boy one too, Jax from
no, he was
Sons of Anarchy. Wasn't he a Robin Hood at some point?
No, he's King Arthur.
Oh, he's just King Arthur. All right.
He was rumored to be Green Arrow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Number 3, Hawkeye. Could be higher.
Yeah. Well, which one? Which one?
Well, it's
or is Kate Bishop above him? Because then we can just burn this list to the ground.
No, this is the Jeremy Renner Hawkeye.
Got it.
Okay. I will tell you that out of the top 2 that are left, Kate Bishop does not make this list.
Okay. Neither apparently does Malcolm Merlin.
He does not also make this list. Who should probably be in around number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. But Oliver Queen gets number 2.
Okay. Not a better shot than Hawkeye, but okay. In television movie history, not a better shot than Hawkeye.
No. And it is, of course, Stephen Amell. And the number 1...
Well, he's the only Green Arrow, isn't he? I guess your boy, Justin Hartley. I forgot about him.
Legolas.
Okay. Dom made the call. I didn't throw it in the chat, but Dom, I will say, at the start of the list, Dom threw in Legolas is number 1.
He did. It is this other one that we're going to run out real fast. It's a little off brand for us, but it's pretty funny. I'm going to go from just 1 down to 10 because is it 10? Yeah, no, it's 12. I'm just going to go from 1 to 12, and I'm going to go through this one pretty fast so we can get to the news stuff. These are 12 sports movies. Dom, you're going to love this. Ranked by how completely they get sports wrong. Which archer is the best hand-to-hand?
Head-to-head or hand-to-hand? Which way are you going with that, Dom? There's a little bit of a lag, but everybody in Facebook land can see the question there. Is head-to-head.
Head-to-head, I might have to go Amell. Just because of the sheer amount of content that he had.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Hand to hand. I'd have to give Hawkeye.
Hand to hand, I would actually go Amell.
Okay, so we're flip flop.
Because he rarely ever used his bow and arrow. He fought hand to hand more than anything on that damn show.
Oh yeah, well arrows are expensive.
The CGI, because every arrow was CGI'd.
Well, yeah.
Every single arrow. There was not a single arrow that he really shot. It was just doing this. Nothing going.
No. Okay.
I bet you Stephen Amell probably couldn't actually fire a bow.
He's strong.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would say off that list, probably Green. Daryl. I mean, look, Daryl Dixon, not a great fighter, but can take a beating like no other. All he does is get his ass beat every show that he's on. And then he just makes it through, but he never actually wins a fight.
All right. The 12 sports movies ranked by how completely they get sports wrong. I actually will start at the bottom.
Okay.
Let me get down to number 12 here.
Is this by how wrong they get it?
Yeah. It gives actually I'm going to start at 1. I'm sorry. And number 12 is pretty bad. So number 1 here is from Any Given Sunday when the eyeball is ripped out of its socket.
Oh wait, so this is so what is? I thought this was how
This,
the sports are played wrong. But what is this?
yeah,
How
it's
does this
ranked
sports
by
work?
how completely they get sports wrong. So
Okay,
getting an eyeball ripped out during an NFL game is not right.
that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
Those helmets are pretty hard, especially the size of these NFL players' hands.
Yes. Number 2, the flying V from the Mighty Ducks is awesome and dumb. 100,000% agree. It's great for movies, but it's so not viable because the defenseman would just come down and blow up the lead guy and not ruin that whole thing.
Is it because you've tried the flying V?
No, we never have. I play on foot, so the flying V is probably like a slow shuffling V.
That's fair.
Yeah. Number 3, cutting the rope and a lot more of vertical limit is utterly laughable, it says. So this is the rock climbing movie.
I don't know that I remember Vertical
I don't
Limit.
remember that either.
If you would have gone a cliffhanger, I would have been there with you.
Right. Number 4, Henry doesn't even meet the MLB age requirement in Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, true.
I mean, look, but the Jamie Moore story and the rookie movie, you know.
Number 5, the final pass in the program was incomplete. It's true.
Okay.
And that's one of my favorite movies.
I have not seen enough sports movies, is what I'm learning from this, because so far I'm like 2
Yeah,
for
the
5
program-
or 6 or whatever we're at.
The program is a very interesting movie with James Caan as the football coach.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Number 6, Brendan Fraser throws 81 strikes in a row in The Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it could happen.
Yeah. The most pitches consecutively thrown for strikes since 1988, when the stat began being tracked, was 38 in a row by Bartolo Colon in 2012. He would have had to throw 81 straight pitches in the zone for a strike. That's a little ridiculous.
Well,
especially with the umpiring today. Well,
but you wouldn't, though.
Well,
you just have to. You can throw them out of the zone as long as the batter thinks they're in the zone.
Well, I mean, if Angel Hernandez was behind the plate, yes, maybe.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dom would agree with that. Number 7, the final putt in Happy Gilmore would never happen.
Oh no, it breaks every rule of golf.
It does. Number 8, Dom's quote there: "Everything about draft day is a fireable offense." I as much as I love that last 10 minutes of that movie to watch every so often, it's utterly incomprehensible that would have happened.
So, Dom's quote is that has to be one of the worst sports movies, so unrealistic that the Browns would be smart and pull off those trades.
Yeah. It's, if you've never seen it, really just watch the last 10 minutes of the movie, and that's the whole thing.
All right, it'll go on my list.
Yeah. You've never seen it?
Oh, that was the other thing that I watched. I forgot.
In it?
We'll mention that in a bit.
Okay. Number 9, knocking the cover off the ball in The Natural is pure fantasy. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
Look, Castellanos' bat also shattering him into splinters when it should have been a double.
Yeah. Number 10, the overhand pitching in A League of Their Own would have been a no-go, as they had all, I read a little bit about this, as they all started out as softball players, and they didn't introduce overhand pitching right away for the women. It was a lot of underhanded and then sidearm throwing at first to get them used to the overhand motion. That makes sense.
I mean, was anybody really worried about Kit and her pitching? Come on.
No. Number 11, the fighting consecutive days in Warrior is essentially impossible. I didn't see this movie, so I'm assuming this is a no-go thing.
I mean, it's a boxing thing, so
no,
you don't.
MMA. It's
even
MMA.
Worse. You don't do matches back to back unless you're, in Roadhouse.
Right. Which I have something on that too. And number 12, Falco shows up late in the replacements after watching most of the game at home. Yeah. You can't watch the game at home and then come down to the stadium and just suit up and get into the game, because you would have been marked inactive and not eligible to play.
Yeah, but there was only so many players, so they probably knew Falco was coming. And look, when Shane Falco comes to get in the game, you let Shane Falco get in the game.
I mean, I guess. I forgot his name was Shane and almost called him Joe.
That's no. Yeah. Um,
Yes,
is that the list?
that's it. That's
So
our.
I remembered as we got through the list, which good list. If I'd seen half the movies, I'd appreciate it more. Um, so I made it through season 1 of The Office
Oh shit! Yeah.
because you guys all told me that I had to watch
Yes.
The Office.
Please give me.
It's fine.
Yeah. I told you it takes.
But I feel like all these ones in season 1 are like all these like legendary episodes
Did you
because
get?
your Diversity Day was this episode 2, and I was like, it's fine. I don't. So I think the problem with it. Same with Bobby Boucher at halftime, but the Water Boy. And if you
Yeah.
listen to New Heights, look, the Water Boy should have won the Oscar that year versus Life is Beautiful.
Well,
I've watched that so many
back
times.
to The Office, please.
Yeah. So I don't. I how do I phrase this? So having watched this now
Mm-hmm.
versus when it came out,
You
I don't
wouldn't have
think.
made it.
No. Well, definitely wouldn't make it now.
No, you.
No, I think I would have made it back then.
Okay.
But like a lot of the stuff, if you didn't watch it when it's like Seinfeld, right? Like if somebody today watched Seinfeld, they'd be like, "This is the stupidest show ever."
That's how I feel about it.
See, and I enjoyed Seinfeld,
Right.
but like now it doesn't translate. So like my humor and sensibility now versus how it felt 15 years ago for The Office, I think, right?
Yeah.
08, 09, right around Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I watched Parks and Rec when it came out, so that's still funny to me to a degree.
Gotcha.
But like we'll see after I get out of season 1,
Right.
there's some funny stuff.
Sure.
Like I laughed here and there, but like it's okay.
I want to wait until you get through season 1.
I finished season
Well, I
1.
mean season 2 when the show starts to kind of find its footing, because it was still kind of based off the English version a little bit in season 1.
Yeah, and you said the first episode is a note for note remake?
Almost
Really?
a note for note, line for line copy. The stapler and the jello, and I only watched the first episode of the British version, and I don't hate British humor, and I couldn't stick with it, and I love Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, like my only show I've watched is this style is What We Do in the Shadows, which is basically The Office for vampires.
Right.
Which that like I enjoy, but I rarely find it like laugh out loud funny. And I'm at the same spot with this show so far, but I think it's because I like my comedy less situational and more over the top.
It gets nuttier as it goes along, and the cast kind of, there's some people that show up in the first episode that you never see again, and there's little things. It gets better is what I can say.
Okay.
We missed this. Charles had mentioned earlier that he volunteered at Sci-Fi Valley Con in Altoona.
Very
I'm
nice.
curious how that went. What you actually got to do with that? That sounds sounds pretty cool.
Were you a handler, Charles? Because I know a lot of the times they assign handlers to the celebrities that come into those things. Or were you just helping out with some of the other stuff that's going on at the con?
And yet, no, he didn't totally crush my soul, but I expected him with Jack and watching things. I expect a little bit of not falling in love with right away. So I once we get past season 2, then he'll crush my soul.
Yeah, I mean, I finished Tacoma FD, so I
And it's 6
said that I would
episodes.
move. I said I'd move on to The Office,
I appreciate that.
and they're fast enough I can burn through them. And I feel like I've it's been on a handful of times. I just never paid attention when it's on. But
Right.
it is definitely a show that I can do second screen viewing for, which I appreciate when I'm
Yes.
trying to not pay attention fully to whatever I'm watching.
Yeah.
See, there we go. Line control for Greg Baldwin and Maurice LaManche.
Well, that's cool. I know a guy that ran, I think I mentioned it before. He ran one of the cons in Maryland, Farpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He ran that back in, years ago. He's my friend's neighbor. He talked about it a lot. Talked about Colin Ferguson being like just so down to earth and awesome. And Anson Mount from Strange New Worlds plays Christopher Pike. Just so down to earth and just so welcoming and nice to people. Ran into him. They ran into him outside of the con at dinner, and he just come over, sit down, hang out. Like he's really that I like. I like to hear those stories.
Yeah.
Steamboat Willie.
Oh, is this the horror version of Steamboat Willie?
Screamboat.
Oh, that sounds
Casts
awful.
Terrifier star David Howard Thornton as the murderous mouse.
Okay.
The plot of the movie:
Hmm.
Screamboat follows a group of New Yorkers on a late-night ferry ride that turns deadly when a mischievous mouse begins a rampage, targeting unsuspecting passengers. The unlikely crew must band together to thwart the murderous menace before the relaxing commute turns into a nightmare. As long as the mouse is in black and white at some point, I would.
I will watch it as soon as I'm done watching whatever other thing I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. So that's coming out. The weekend box office. Bad Boys 4 revives the summer with the franchise's second best opening. It's 53 million domestic. Second best opening weekend for the franchise, behind 2020's Bad Boys for Life.
Is it bad that those don't sound like great to me anymore? We're
No,
so spoiled by Marvel movies.
a little bit, yeah. The opening weekend exceeded expectations considerably and could be the start of an uptick in the summer box office. Kevin Smith was on Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but
I'm sure it's 19 hours long.
it's only an hour 16. I'm
Oh,
sure
he held
there's 4 hours of cut footage.
held him tight.
But the one clip I did see was where Kevin Smith was basically saying cinemas are dying, and they might not make a comeback. Like the 250 seat theaters are going by the wayside to the smaller, armchair recliner theaters of like 50, 60 people.
Yeah, but then it's unaffordable to go out to them. So
Right. That was the other thing that he was saying.
yeah, I mean, date night shouldn't be $100 to go see
No,
a movie and get dinner.
no.
But it's more like 200. Looks like Charles also said that Steel City Con's going to have Jared Padalecki.
Oh, nice.
I'm sure there'll be a Supernatural revival soon now that Walker Texas Rangers canceled.
Yeah. So Ride or Die was projected to earn 30 million, doubled that. And the opening weekend total gives the new movie the second highest three-day debut of the franchise so far, behind Bad Boys for Life. Globally, it has earned 104.6 million, already making back its $100 million budget in 3 days. So that's good for the movie, for cinema.
A little bit. It is and it isn't, right? Because what it shows you
Mm.
is that existing IP is the way to go.
Yeah.
Don't make anything new, because anything new, even remakes that aren't directly tied to the original cast, like Fall Guy.
But
though Fall Guy was TV from 40 years ago.
Even still, we're at the top 5 movies of per Sunday morning were Bad Boys at 56 million on its first day. These are 3-day totals. Number 2 is the Garfield movie in its third weekend at 68.6 million. If in its fourth weekend is at 93.5 million. The Watchers at 4 in its first weekend is 7 million. And at number 5 in its fifth week, 149 million for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's just the numbers are so down from, I think I would guess even last year. I'd have to look that up.
I think it probably last year there was a couple decent things that popped out, but the thing to realize with Garfield, right? And I think you'll see when Despicable Me 4 hits in like another couple weeks that it crushes everything. There's nothing to do with your kids anymore.
No,
like there's nowhere to take them. None of these movies are kids movies. So when a kids movie comes out, you take everybody takes their kids to see it.
I don't think even If is.
No, it's definitely not a kids movie.
Like
from
a
what
cancer movie, right?
I don't know. But then Garfield. I don't know if Garfield is a kids movie because I haven't seen a single commercial for it.
Oh my god, I have to. Just a comment I have to read when we get to the Acolyte that a friend of mine just posted.
So I don't know how it's been going with the advertising for Garfield because, like I said, I've never seen a single ad for it.
But
there's so few things to take your kids to at the movies anymore. It's like one thing a quarter. There was Kung Fu Panda 4 not too long ago, right? And then this, but like you can also just wait a month and a half and keep watching Bluey
Yeah,
in the
it's
meantime.
well, good news is, since you said existing IPs, Roadhouse 2
Oh, God damn it.
will be expansive, bigger, and have a bigger universe.
That's what it needs. It's exactly what the movie Roadhouse needs.
Yes.
A bigger, expansive universe of roadhouses.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Um yeah, I like let me see where it goes before I cast judgment on this. Like you're taking a movie that wasn't even supposed to be good when it came out originally with Patrick Swayze,
Yeah.
and it like cult
Well,
classically came all the way up here.
I think we're gonna have to watch the sequels, Frank.
We have
I
to
think
watch. I mean,
that's where we're at. Like not the new one. We have to
oh,
go find the old sequels and
because
see if this follows
oh, all right,
the through line of the original trilogy of
okay,
Roadhouse movies.
okay, okay.
No, well, it doesn't because Dalton's only in the first one.
Yeah, he is. Gen V season 2. Eric Kripke confirmed that Andre's death, who played by Chance Perdomo, who passed away, will be integrated into the season 2 storyline to honor Chance and his impact to the show.
Great.
Um,
I'm
not
excited.
going to be recast. They're going to just, what we had speculated before is they'll do something off camera with them and kind of move on. And I think that's a good move.
100%.
Recasting, that's a really hard thing to do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think I'm excited to see where we end up there.
My favorite series that's coming back soon.
Oh no.
For the last half of its season 5, Yellowstone has another spin-off coming.
Oh God.
You know who they're eyeing for the lead role?
No.
Kurt Russell. That's what's up. If he grows that mustache thing again, oh yeah, let me get
All right. Well, it's fine. I need him to come back again in King of, or whatever my monster show was on my Godzilla show on Netflix.
Okay.
Monarch.
Monarch.
No. Yeah, but it wasn't called Monarch. Monarch whatever.
I'm a fan of Kurt Russell, so So the Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon season 2, subtitled The Book of Carol, was renewed back in July 2023. AMC announced a premiere date.
Yeah, I'm stoked. The trailer's a blast.
September 29th.
It's too long, but yes.
The new season will feature the return of Melissa McBride as Carol. That's good stuff.
Yeah, Carol's awesome. She was not I don't think that she was in the comics, and if she was, she died very early on. But she is one of the original cast members. So there's only like 3 left, maybe.
Okay.
From the first pilot, from the first season that are left on the show. Her, Daryl, who is original to the show as well. But Carol was like a meek, abused housewife in the beginning of the show, caring for her daughter, and then like went through probably more character development than anyone in the show a couple times here and there, and became this badass who could flip back into this mousy, like, because her daughter dies through it, and they were searching for her daughter for like half a season. They find her daughter's a zombie in the barn at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And then she like adopts other kids as he goes, but can like go back to this like super sweet, like innocent, you wouldn't think anything of her, and then is like the most badass person on the show. She's awesome. Melissa McBride is fantastic in the role. So I'm stoked that Carol's back.
Oh, that's good. I mean, for you and the people that love that show.
Look, there's not a lot of zombies on the Daryl Dixon show.
What? You've explained that. Jensen Ackles is returning to TV in a leading role on the Prime Video show Countdown. He will star as an LAPD officer, Mark Meacham, who is investigating a suspicious murder. This show is from One Chicago creator Derek Haas, following a secret task force uncovering a sinister plot.
Look, I would rather he just keep going in and guest starring on all these other shows. Dom hopping back in, though. Frank, watch the show.
Look, I won't say no. I'm not closing the door on it. You open the door to The Office. I may have to open the door to something in your world. Okay. I may have to do that. The Last of Us, season 2.
Yep. Not as
Only
good as The Walking Dead, but cool.
only have 7 episodes.
I saw this. Well, yeah,
Yes.
but there's a caveat to that.
So the showrunner Craig Mazin said they're gonna focus on character development over rushing the plot. The showrunners say that The Last of Us seasons 3 and 4 are possible as long as people keep watching it. So that
Well, that's
one more season might not be enough to tie up this arc, he said.
Have you played the second game,
I haven't
Frank?
even finished the first game.
Oh my god. So the second game, we did get through the first game in season 1. The
Right.
second game is 5 times as long as the first game.
Okay. So it makes sense to expand it.
So there's no way, according to the showrunner, that they can get through the game in 2 seasons. So the reason that there is a season 3 and 4 is to possibly get through the second game.
Gotcha.
Just that far.
Right.
Because there is a whole lot of story.
Oof.
And
Well, that's
especially if they're
good.
doing shorter season. Yeah, yes and no, but
Well,
like
until Bella
now I
Ramsey
got to wait
got frozen.
4 years to watch them put the second game on TV. Like that's nuts.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Right? Like I already know the story because I played the game. So now I have to wait 4 years to watch them. Look, it took me 3 to beat the game because I forgot about it. But
Look,
still.
But you at least know how it ends. I don't. I'd have to Google this.
Yeah.
Dom. Yeah. There's a slight delay. Dom.
There's a little bit of lag, but I answered it in real time for him. He didn't know. So yeah, that's where they're at with that. So look, I'm more excited for Twisted Metal season 2 than I am for Last of Us season 2.
Oh yeah, that's a thing too.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Filmed his final show after 41 seasons.
Which reminds me, Ryan Seacrest, is he debuting as we speak?
I don't know. I did see the clip of one of his last shows. The guy answered. I love the not the bloopers, but the weird answers that people give.
Yeah.
And the guy goes right in the butt.
Oh yeah.
And the lady goes, nut? What? So that was fun. But after 40 years, he started in 1981.
Yeah, 43 years.
As the replacement for Chuck Woolery.
You were a young man when he started.
I was 46.
Yeah. Yeah, you were still a young man when that show started.
1981. I was just 6th grade. 6th grade-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I remember him my entire life on that show.
So do I.
Hey, Dom, have a good one.
All right.
Don't forget to tune back in, and anybody else that's watching, don't forget to either tune back into the video or go download the podcast and listen to the show wherever you get your podcasts on.
Yes, please.
YouTube Music or on Apple or Spotify or wherever you want to go get your shows.
Another show that you love. Harley Quinn season 5.
Oh, I can't wait.
Is coming out in 2024.
Yeah, the show's so good.
Possibly in the summer.
Look, they just go to work on that show, and they're short, so they're 22-minute episodes, and it's not a long season. Like, Adventures with Superman, same thing. Like, it's not a super long season. So I feel like every time they wrap a season of Harley Quinn, they just go start working on the next one. And the animation is not over the top complicated.
No,
it's not South Park level where they can crank it out in 4 days. But
right. Speaking of Superman,
yeah.
Two other notes. Somebody tweeted to James Gunn, who loves the Twitter or the X or whatever the hell it's called.
He does. Or is he threading?
No, well, he might be. I was big on Threads for like an hour.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. So they asked him if is Jonathan Kent going to be alive in this movie? And his reply was, "Do you really think I would hire Pruitt to be dead for the whole movie?"
Yeah, especially after he said how much he loves him.
Right. 2 more hirings for the Superman movie.
Okay.
We get
so many people.
Michaela Hoover attached to play Cat Grant.
Okay.
And Christopher McDonald, not the Happy Gilmore Christopher McDonald,
Oh, the other Christmas
the
Reunion?
other Christopher McDonald, set to bring Ron Troop to life, an iconic Daily Planet reporter.
I don't know who they are.
Well, Callista Flockhart played Cat Grant,
I know who Cat Grant is. I don't know who
and
Robert Troop
Troop
is.
was briefly played by Charles Jarman in an episode of Superman and Lois. So I don't know who that is either.
Nope.
No. What else? The D. Bradley Baker, who voiced Crosshair in
Yep.
Bad Batch.
He voiced every clone in Bad Batch and
Well,
every in the
he's
Clone
been
Wars.
nominated for an Emmy.
Good for him. For Crosshair.
Absolutely, yep, for Crosshair. I think that's great. He was phenomenal in that. What else do I have? I have one more little thing before we can talk about our show. Xbox had a big showcase the other day to reveal a bunch of stuff. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming in at 300 gigabytes to download on Xbox.
That seems like a lot.
It's insanely big. They announced a whole slew of games, a new Dragon Age, Diablo 4, a new Starfield, a new World of Warcraft, because there are,
Are those new games or just new downloads and like
new
content?
games.
Really?
A new Gears of War game set, a prequel Gears of War game.
So how many years until all of these games they announced come out? Because I feel like a new Starfield game will not be anytime soon.
No, well, it's not a new Starfield game. So the Starfield thing is an expansion.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
like, are they?
Okay. It is. Let me see. You got Fable is coming.
Fable 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, Call of Duty's this year. Diablo's this year. That ain't a new class and stuff like that. There's a whole. It was they dropped a whole bunch. Fable's coming in 2025.
Okay.
And that's coming. It just says Fable. It doesn't have a number after it or anything like that. These are most of these are coming on Game Pass day one, which is great. Age of Mythology.
Well, they have to for the S, right?
Yes, because that's digital.
Yeah.
There's a couple new consoles coming out, a new digital version of the S with bigger storage.
I don't know. They have a choice.
No, not with the size of these games. And they're working on the next gen console that'll be after the Xbox Series X.
I'm already in. I have the decent sized PS5, and I have to delete stuff all the time. And I don't even play that much, but like every time I want to get a new game, it's like I got to delete 4 other games.
I have I think I have 2 terabytes, or I have a terabyte drive on this, and that's the same thing.
Well, on Xbox. So tell me, because for the uneducated person that I am, so if you have the external hard drive, can you play off the external hard drive or no?
Yeah. So there's a weird thing with that. The internal hard drive, you can play the HD games, right?
Yep.
Like those are the Series X games.
Yeah.
And that's only like a 500 gigabyte hard drive on your Xbox Series X. To play the HD games, you need to buy these sons of bitches their Xbox storage expansion card. That's an additional 200 gigabytes.
Yeah.
That was an additional $240.
Yeah.
If you have just an external hard drive plugged in, that one you buy at any store, you can't play the HD version of the game. You can play the older versions of the games, which I have loaded up like a ton of games. The old Assassin's Creeds and the Star Wars and the Lego stuff that's not HD or for Series X. If you want to play the Series X stuff, you have to move it into the internal.
Same for PlayStation.
Yes. It's a big pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And they're going to do another console, and PlayStation's going to do another console, and we're stupidly going to buy these new consoles, even though our current ones are not that bad. I mean, the PlayStation's still a huge step.
Look, my kids still mostly play on the Switch, so like,
yeah. Well, when I messaged our group text this weekend to find out something to do on Saturday, and I suggested bowling. Matt Kaplan texted me earlier in the day and said, "Hey, I really feel like bowling." He's like, "I really just feel like bowling for some reason." And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I sent a group text early in the day to give everybody time.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's reply back was, "Real bowling or the Wii?" Real bad.
You
Real
didn't want to be sore the next day, you know. You
Look,
got that hockey MCL. You got to be careful, man.
I got 3 games this week. 1 Tuesday, 2 Wednesday.
Speaking of hockey, Pete
You know,
chiming in on the console war and says switch to
before
PC.
before we shoo Pete off with our Acolyte talk, I don't know how Pete feels about the Acolyte or if he's even watched it. I I am so stuck on consoles, my hands won't move across the keyboard, and I know I could plug a controller into the keyboard or into the console, into the computer to play, as I have done with Hades 2. Well, I'm not that fat, dude. I'm on the Ozempic. I've lost like 15 pounds. Shit. He coming in hot. The hell? Speaking of fat, let's talk about the Acolyte. God damn, Pete. Pete coming in on fire. All right, that's payback for all that May the 4th be with you crap. I get it. Touche, Pete. Touche.
Wow. That is
Um,
savage.
Anyway, in the watch of the week.
Yeah.
This week it's just one show. It was The Acolyte that dropped 2 episodes set hundreds of years before the Skywalker saga with
100.
with no attachment to Luke Skywalker or the Skywalker family
Yeah.
in any way yet. What did you think of the first 2 episodes?
Really? Are you going to start with me?
Yes. Do you want me to go first this time?
Yeah, you watched it more recently. Remind me of all of the things I loved about this show.
The opening fight sequence with Carrie-Anne Moss and the Acolyte was really cool. It was very Matrixy, very old, samurai-ish, very, very well done choreographed fighting. And the fact that they got such a huge name in Carrie-Anne Moss, spoiler alert, to be in the show for 9 minutes before she dies was wonderful.
Wild to me.
Unbelievably crazy, especially with the videos of Carrie-Anne Moss practicing lightsaber moves in her hotel room. Unless there's
To be fair, I feel like there are going to be at least a full episode of flashbacks, if not more, based on the storyline they're developing out for these
that's fine.
4 Jedi that did something bad in their past. Blah blah blah.
I didn't hate the series. I'm sorry. I didn't hate the 2 episodes.
Okay.
I didn't love the 2 episodes. I still don't understand why we needed this right now. But what I will say is that I hate the dumb Jedi that thinks that Anakin Skywalker blew up the Death Star. I hate his character. Seething hate the Jedi that just became a Jedi.
John Diggle Jr.
Yes, hate him with a passion for some reason already.
And I say that because he played John Diggle Jr. on Arrow.
Fair. I feel that Daphne Keene's character is really well done. I like that character.
Yep. She's great.
I
didn't realize that was Daphne Keene.
I did.
Until I was listening earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
The guy that's playing the
Keep going.
I'm
gonna let you go.
The guy that's playing the main Jedi, Soul.
Isn't his name Soul? The
Soul?
Jedi?
I like him a lot.
Did you enjoy him in Squid Games? I'm sure you watched Squid Games, right? That
Right.
seems like it's right up your alley to watch something.
Exactly. And before you get to your thing, what my friend saw was what my friend said, and he sometimes pops in the chat. I told him I was going to repeat this. He said, saw Acolyte episode 2. There is a Jedi with a higher cholesterol level than midichlorian level. Aren't Jedi supposed to be monk warriors? The only force that dude had was the ability to force himself through a buffet line.
Which Jedi was that?
So when they were up on the balcony, keeping an eye on
Olega Padawan. Yes, Ed Keir is his name.
That might be the funniest thing I've seen said about this show.
It seems he is from the show Ghosts.
Before you get to your thoughts on it. Is the biggest 2024 series debut for Disney Plus with 4.8 million views on its first day, hinting at a potential Star Wars franchise resurgence. Now,
Mhm.
that line is a little misleading because I think the views are going to go way, 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 way down after that.
I think there's a couple things to look at with that. So what else has come out in 2024 on Disney Plus? I'll
Not
wait. I'll wait.
not much,
I'll
but
wait. Was there a Marvel? No, no.
no.
Was there another Star Wars? No. Was
Well,
there
Bad Batch is the only other Star Wars.
Yeah, but that's still people still never crossed over to the animated world. And I feel like this is the first one that attracts a new audience because they said it's not connected, right? Like Bad Batch. If you went to watch the last season of Bad Batch and you didn't watch the Clone Wars and the other 3 seasons of Bad Batch, you're not watching the Bad Batch
Right.
because you're just lost.
But go ahead on your thoughts on
But
it.
this
Before I ask
you
the
could
question.
just jump right into this. Unfortunately, I feel like they wrote it like you could just jump right into this. To the degree of like they're like, hey, this is this. Now let me explain it to you. And it's like, all right, look, I've lived with Star Wars. Everybody's lived with Star Wars for like 40, 45, 50, however long now, almost 50 years, right? Like,
Yes.
I get it. Jedi, cool. They do the thing. They're like, monk, cool, got it. But I don't need you to explain every single thing to me and give away like every big reveal within like 10 minutes. I just the storytelling it goes back to what the issue that I say about all this stuff, right? Like it's gorgeous, it's really well shot.
Mhm.
The choreography is great for the fight scenes. I think that's well acted.
Yep.
The
Great.
story is fucking awful.
I
Like
I
it's not there's nothing about the story that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. You know why? Because they already tell you. So there's going to be a big twist, obviously, right? They
has
hope. Well, obviously, who knows? There might not be. It might just be all out on Front Street already. But my thing's like, yeah, like everything, like uh, there, if unless there's some other huge twist, like, and again, spoilers. How do you reveal that they're twins like so fast?
I immediately.
Like within an episode and a half, like you give away all of these cool, like who's so now it's I guess the acolyte is whoever the bad guy is.
Well, no, the acolyte is the girl.
Is it?
She's the acolyte.
Is she or is the acolyte the bad guy?
The
We
no,
don't know.
the bad guy is supposedly, from what I was reading, the Sith.
Right. But
And the
like,
acolyte is supposedly going to be the apprentice to the Sith, unless there's a twist coming along, and that's not the case at all.
right. So here's my problem with the way that they're telling this story, right? Like, I don't have context to care
Right.
who the big bad is.
Right.
Right? Like they're like, oh my god, the big bad they didn't do anything. Unless I have all of my Star Wars context for like, ooh, Sith is bad. Bad Sith. I wonder who that is. I'm not going to know
So, but supposedly back
because I
then there
don't have
was
any
no Sith,
backstory.
but there was no Sith back then, right? The Sith
Depends.
hadn't come.
In X number of
forward
years or
yet.
something. I don't know. I haven't read any of the High Republic stuff, but like I don't I don't have context as to who the big bad is or any history of them. And it's not like a big I'm not like, "Oh my god, they're doing all these bad things" cuz it doesn't seem like they're doing anything. Like this is their first play is to kill Jedi that did something bad 20 years earlier. Like that's their big master plan. I don't get why I care. And I think it just goes back to that like it's just poor writing, right? Like there's nothing in there that make me go, "Ooh, I wonder what's going on there." Oh, this exposition was really good and fills me in on this and makes me want to know more. Like there's been none of that.
Now,
It's just like here's this, all right, and this is and now it's this, and oh, and here's this. I bet you're gonna guess what's gonna happen next. It's that,
I mean,
and
the
it's like,
only thing aside from some of the places, and then you have to Google to see what place this is and where this is, and some of the Trade Federation guys. Okay,
oof, can't believe they brought them back at like
yeah,
with
yeah,
in all the
yeah.
all the stereotypes.
I saw one thing I saw was
Jesus.
that the Jedi Temple is actually sitting higher at this stage because the planet hasn't been developed enough for the temple to look level with everything else, but it's because the Jedi seat is higher,
Yeah.
and you can tell they're very cocky, and there's Jedi temples all over the place, and they apparently use force memory wiping and shit like that.
Yeah, they're space cops at this.
And
But it feels like they're space cops, right? Not like they're like
yeah, they're
because
not
they don't feel like Jedi monks. They feel
now.
like space cops.
Yeah, they don't. I it'll
They're like the Green Lantern Corps.
it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I just hope the storytelling gets a little bit better. I don't need everything to be set in the New Republic era or with the Empire, but setting it this far back, nobody I don't really think anybody cares.
Agreed.
Like Star Trek. Star Trek did it where they have this really small window of time before Kirk, like that's where they set the last show. They have this 5-year window where before Kirk comes and like that broader story takes place, and then they jump them 900 years in the future to give them their own story, and it worked.
Right.
And it was great. And now you have this Strange New Worlds focused in that small 5-year period. So you know that you're only going to have a limited amount of time there.
Right.
But this doesn't seem to be working like that. Like you're 100 years before Palpatine and all that stuff starts. And it's just like, I want to care, but at this point I'm just like,
Right. Like that's what I was saying. It's I don't have any vested interest in who the bad guy is or what they've done because from what I've seen, there isn't anything yet. So like, why does it matter to me? Like, what's the part that I'm concerned about? Why do I care that there's a bad guy doing these things? Because it seems like they're awful people. So okay,
yeah,
like it seems like they deserve what's happening to them. So I don't know where I'm supposed to be upset about it.
the people are the Jedi. It is canon. It's very canon. But that's all I have on it.
Yeah, I mean, I will continue to watch.
So will I. Not that many episodes. But this weekend we get House of the Dragon.
Yeah, it's a busy weekend.
We get The Boys.
Boys Friday, House of the Dragon Sunday.
New York was lit up with some CGI'd flags, some CGI banners hanging on bridges on social medias. Some Targaryen banners draped down the Manhattan Bridge, digitally. I'm excited for both of those.
We also have the first half of the Doctor Who finale this weekend. It is a busy weekend.
You got to work that around playing gigs and.
I have one gig this weekend because my kids are finishing school Friday, and I decided I would take off in case they decided that they wanted to not be antisocial for the evening.
Well, you have to be celebrated this weekend.
Sure.
All 5 are your kids.
Sure. And then I'm off on vacation. So I will be here next Monday. We'll all be here next Monday. We'll do the thing. We'll talk about all the stuff.
Yes, we will. Less news, more TV shows.
Yeah, it'll be a quick news week, quick in and out of the house, and then just one little list, probably.
One little list.
So, but thanks for finding the Geek Spot, everybody. As always, check us out. Like I said earlier, all those places that you listen to your podcast. Hopefully, you're not using YouTube Music because God, it's so bad. But you can find me at jackkidmusic.com and visit, come out and see me play, make some song requests, all those good things, or check out the YouTube channel. Check out Geek Spot News wherever you get your geek news, and Frank's over at Gimzack.
Yeah, not doing much right now.
And thanks everyone.
Thanks everybody. Bye.